That's the top right there. I can't get there. It's too icy. It's too steep. I need to turn around quick. Morning folks, it's 23rd of December today and I've had quite an interesting morning. My plan for today was not actually to be walking along Ben Nevis. I woke up this morning with the intention to go a camp near Tyndrum, over to 2 remote rows in that neck of the woods. However, on the road up in the bus, it did not look nice. It looked really damp and that was a completely and utterly pathless terrain I was going to be in, so that would have been an absolute nightmare. So I was like, what do I do? So logical option was to get a bus to Fort William. So I got a bus to Fort William and then I was like, I'll get the bus into Ben Nevis. Waiting at the bus stop for ages, no bus appeared. I'm like, there was no notice up that was only a temporary bus during summer. So I was sat in there for ages wasting time. So about half an hour sitting later, I'm finally on the go, walking into Ben Nevis for a summit camp at one of the highest peaks in the country. So it's going to be awesome nonetheless, and I hope you all enjoy. Right, that's me now, as you can see, on the pony track. Just stopped, got my trekking poles out, delayered a bit because it's absolutely boiling down here. I mean, I'm not going to get led into a false sense of security though, because I know it's going to be biting chilly up there. I think it's like -15 in the wind. So I'm going to plod my way along slowly up the pony track. 7:30 AM. Sunset is at 3:30. We only have 4 hours of daylight left. I'm still not at the true start of the climb up to the Ben. This bit you kind of have to walk along before you start getting to pull up to the wee lock, and so it's going to be a close call to get up to where I want to camp, which is going to be the summit, Carmorderg. And yeah, pitch tent before sun goes down. At least if I get there just in time for sunset, so I can at least hopefully find a pitch spot. If not, then trips, it might be an interesting one. I might need a bivvy it, and if it's raining or whatnot, just throw the tent over my sleep system. Hopefully there's a pitch spot. I'm not too sure though. I've only really read of people bivvying it up in the CMD. So, without further ado, we best get cracked on because I do not have a lot of time. There's a lock-in, so that makes us just over 500 odd metres on the Ben. So you're not even halfway. A lot of people get to this point and think they're halfway up the Ben, but you're not. This is just how big this mountain is. We're just below the snow and the wee dust in the cloud is, so it looks like it's clear up at the top. But this is my decision point, whether I'm going to the top of the Ben or heading round to CMD, Carmorderg. And I think I'm going to head round to the CMD. It is 12, which means I have around 3 hours of sunlight left. I don't think I'll be able to get the top in time at my pace because I'm going really slow. I never actually did stop for a bite of water, and food had just grabbed a handful of Haribos and shoved them in just to keep myself going, as I'm on the flat now, so it's a bit easier going. So before the next incline I think I'll take a break, because I want to try and get as much distance covered with the sun in the sky. I'm going to flip you around here. The camera's not going to do this justice, but this is so cool. Look at this. Look at the crag of the Ben on the right, CMD up to the left, and then you've just got this cloud which is just funneling through the middle. It's absolutely spectacular. That's only came in the last maybe minute or so. It was completely clear, and it's been funneling through obviously over the CMD arete, which is round. We can't see that yet, but wow, I mean could be grounds for an inversion if it falls a wee bit lower, but I'll show you what I'm meant to go. So the path keeps cutting round, and then at some point I'm going to have to drop down and regain the height on the other side, which I'm not looking forward to. But we're at this cairn here, and yeah, we'll find a spot which the gradient is best to head on up. Look at this for a view. Look at the crag, the wee hut, which the camera probably picked out, but this is absolutely unbelievable. Just below the hut. This has been an absolute slog to get up to. I don't know how well you can hear me, the wind's now absolutely funneling. The plan that I've had, I have no idea. I highly doubt I'm going to be able to do it. What I'm thinking is I'm going to still push up, but I'm probably going to have to retrace my steps all the way around to the lock-in and camp there, because it's so windy. So on the summits it's going to be really windy, which is unfortunate. But I'll push up and have a look and see. However, backup option is push to the lock-in and then get up early tomorrow morning, head up the Ben for a sunrise on Christmas Eve. Can't really complain about that. I'm actually finding it hard to speak. My face is numb. Right. Oh, let's keep moving. Right folks, you may wonder where I am. If I flip you that way, down there is the CIC hut. Up there is Ben Nevis, somewhere up there. I've came up to have a look deeper into the quarry, and I'm just below gully number 5. Now gully number 5 is an easy gully, it's grade 1. So I came up just to have a look, just to see what it is, because the time's now 2 o'clock. So I don't have a lot of time for daylight. I was thinking I could maybe bivvy here or camp here, but it's a wee bit early. It's only 2 o'clock in the afternoon to be setting up camp. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bite to eat here. I'm then going to head up and see what the conditions are like up in the gully. Now, I'm going to be honest here, this might be a bit silly because I don't have crampons with me, because I didn't expect to be doing something like this. As I say, I was meant to be in Tyndrum, not all the way up here. I do have microspikes and I do have an ice axe. The snow up until now has been powdery. Not avalanche powdery, but the type of powder that it'll turn. I mean, I'll show you here. This stuff will, like, with another freeze thaw, that is going to be good climbing conditions. But right now I think it's perfectly fine with microspikes and an ice axe. So I'm going to get a wee bite to eat, and I'll bring you back once I start heading up and let you know if I'm pushing on or I'm turning back. Truly a balanced diet here before we have a look up there. Oh jeez, oh, almost there. That's the top right there. I can't get there. It's too icy. It's too steep. I need to turn around quick. I have no idea how well you can see me. I'm lying in the gully. I'm okay. I had a few moments. Zach, never again. I was stupid. Especially by myself. That was stupid. Yeah. I will not be doing that again. Wow. I feel like my fingers have got frostbitten. I've literally crawled down the slope on my knees. One of my micro spikes is broken, so I've had to take it off. It's now dangling off me. But I'm literally just about the lock-in. Like, I'll turn the camera around. I don't know if you can see, but the lock-in's just there. I'm just taking extra careful here because there's a lot of rocks, so if I do slip I don't want to hit any. But once I get back down to the lock-in, I'm going to stop. I'm going to eat some food. And then I'm probably going to move out of here and move back to the other lock-in and set up a camp there for the night. Right folks, the lock-in's to my right. You can't see it now. The pitch black. I've got the head torch out so I can illuminate my path. What I'm going to do is I'm going to boost down back to the CIC hut, I think, and then I can cook outside the CIC hut before making my way around to camp, or just get a bite to eat there and then make my way around to camp and cook. It's just, I don't know if I'll be bothered cooking once I walk all the way around to camp, so probably not much more filming until I get to camp, but I'll keep you posted what the plan is. What's happening, troops? How you doing? I've not spoken to you in a while. I'm just outside the CIC hut, which you probably won't be able to see. Sorry, I'm eating chocolate as well. I've not eaten in like 3 hours. I was getting the jitters. So I'm here. I'm about to make my way back down, way round to the lock-in at the halfway mark up. The tourist path in the bend. I've got frostbite in both hands, and my wrists and my finger. I'm famished. I've only eaten chocolate, so I'm going to push round there. I'll probably take well over an hour. Get the tent set up, and yeah, hopefully survive the night. As you can tell, I'm maybe struggling a wee bit. This is a major learning curve for me. I'm actually going to get another layer on just now, just in case I do have a touch of hypothermia and don't think I'm cold. So I'm going to do that and then boost on the way. I'll probably see you back at the tent. Right folks, about 8.5 hours later, one sketchy descent, I've got up at the tent pitch with a wonderful view over Fort William. I'm just round from the lock-in. It's really quite boggy here, but I do not care. The tent is pitched. Got the sleep system set up. Got the rab sleeping bag in next bed, Durai R, which actually need to flip over, and all my clothes inside, and I'm going to get some food. Got a beef potato hot pot on the menu tonight. I am looking forward to this, I tell you that much right now. I have these, very fancy, some cannoli. So, sorry mum if you're watching this, I did pinch these from the cupboard. They look so good. I'll get you some more, but I'm going to wire into one right now while I'm waiting this water to boil. They are really good. Just got a clean pair of socks and a pair of thermals on. Socks were not soaking, but they were definitely damp and chilly, so new socks and thermals for bed. Right folks, that is me in the tent. Got my big down jacket on now, in the sleeping bag, got the pillow blown up. The time is about 9 o'clock at the minute, so for a winter's night I didn't stop till about 8 o'clock, so that was impressive. The day did not go to plan at all. However, valuable lessons were learned. We're safe, which is the main thing. I made the right decision to turn around when I did, and for a bit of context, I got to the top of the gully and it was all fine. up until then, and then right at the top there was like an iced cornice, and I couldn't break it with my pick, so I couldn't go over the edge. I literally got right to the edge and I couldn't go over it, so I had to down climb. And at the top, down climbing, well, I find it quite tricky, especially when the snow's not compact and it was moving away from my feet, so I was having to take my time and be cautious. So yeah, back down to the CIC hut and then plodding my way along, and my legs are aching. Anyway, I'm going to get in the sleeping bag, keep my hands toasty, hopefully it isn't frostbite, and it's just a bit of bruised from gripping the ice axe so tight. But yeah, it's wonderful. I'll pop you out. The camera doesn't pick up, but I'm watching an amazing view of Fort William glistening down below me. Yeah, good night, and I will see you in the morning. Morning, folks. Join me in the tent. The view outside's absolutely gorgeous. It looks like a cracking day as the forecast predicted. However, inside the tent, I am soaking. This is dripping wet. I had this open, I had all my vents open, and I even had this open at a crack as well. But no, winter camping's horrible. Everything gets soaking, my head's soaking wet. I wore a hat this time because last time my hair froze, so luckily that's not happened. My hands are still looking a tad questionable. I have no idea what the chuff is happening to them. This hand's got a lot worse, especially down there at the palm. I don't know if it's a bruise or if it's frostbite. Like, they feel fine, they just feel stiff, so I have no idea. Anyway, I'm gonna get out and I'm gonna get some tea on. Frozen my laces they're so like crispy. My boots are completely frozen. Look at this. It's insane. Oh, I'm not looking forward to this. It's going to be a struggle. Breakfast this morning is this chicken that I got at Lidl yesterday with some wraps. So, see how that is. It's like paprika spicy chicken. This right now is the worst part of a winter camp. Packing up everything is still wet. There's no way it's going to dry. Where I've pitched the tent, I actually don't think this area gets sun in winter because the sun's so low in the sky. It's over there, disguised by the wind. So I've just got the sleeping bag away, and I'm just going to get my mat and stuff. It's an absolute bomb site in here, but everything else packed up before heading back down and round and back into Fort William to catch a bus home for Christmas. But yeah, wonderful camp spot. Recommend. Just on the north west side of the Ben. I will be back here probably at some point. It is a good spot, hopefully with a more successful climb of the Ben, with someone else, I think. At least I scouted it out and all was well, but that was definitely a learning curve for the books. But I'll bring you back once the tent is fully away. Right folks, that's everything packed up. It is an absolute disaster in comparison to what I had coming here. Everything's strewn all on the outside of the pack. The tent's up there. I couldn't even fold my sleeping pad because my hands are so clogged. I couldn't fold it properly, so I just kind of like stuffed it in my bag. Oh, the joys of winter camping. Anyway, it's all packed up. The views are absolutely stunning. And I'm going to make the slow walk back down into Fort William to catch a bus. Hopefully I'm going to walk round into the sun before hopefully throwing my hands out a bit, and then use my phone to see what times the buses are, and then go down and catch one. So I'll bring you along a wee bit of the journey, but it's the same path as we walked yesterday, so this is going to be a kind of all over the place video. This one, not my finest of attempts of anything, not my finest of videos, but yeah, it shows you what happens when things don't accordingly go to plan, and then I have to like survive the night in my tent and barely can film anything because my hands are so cold. Anyway, trips. Gonna grab the bag, head round into the sun. It's still absolutely biting cold. I've not made it to the sun yet, so it is cold on the western flanks of the bend today. If I flip you around, there's a wee lock in there, and I was just round more in the shade, so maybe next time I'll get a wee camp down there, knowing that that's where the sun hits. At least a good bit earlier. If the other side gets sun at all, I highly doubt it does, as I said earlier. Anyway, we're nearly back onto the main touristy path, but it's really slippy under feet, so I need to watch out. My boots are finally thawing out a bit. I think that's those laces finally thawed, so I'll finally be able to tie them properly as well, because I couldn't budge the laces. I believe in the background that might be one of the Vare pair. I thought it was Bidian to begin with, but I think it might be one of the Valahullish pairs just by where we're situated, because I know Loch Lunny's just behind those little hills there, so it would make sense. And Bidian's hidden by Mullican and Coyan. Me and Charles were up that last January. I've got an absolute cracker of a video, one of my favourite ones actually. Put a clip up right now from up there. Hopefully we'll get conditions like that in a couple of weeks time. I know we're meant to be getting a cold snap, but it's also looking like we're not getting a lot of precipitation, so I don't know if we'll get a lot of snow. As long as it stays dry and sunny like this, I'm happy to be out in the hills. That's me just passing the wee lock-in, back on the tourist route now. Looking to drop back down to Fort William. I'm just going to take my time though, because it is really slippy underfoot, and there's no rush because the sun's gorgeous. I might stop and get a bite to eat before dropping all the way back down. Right folks, I've not really got that much more to show you or tell you, because I'm just heading back down this path. I've booked a bus which is in 1 hour and 20 minutes from Fort William, so I kind of have to boost really fast to catch it. That gets me into Glasgow for just after 5 PM, which I think is a civilised time, seeing as it's Christmas Eve. So I'm going to boost down the hill. As always, I hope you've learned something from this video, not to always push yourself to the absolute extreme, because you can put yourself in some quite dangerous situations. I hope you learned something. I hope you've seen a very cool place in the north side of Ben Nevis, the Corrie, which is an absolute stunning place, and I've had a terrific time. I'll definitely be back better prepared. As always, if you liked the video, please give us a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't already. Take care out there folks, have a very Merry Christmas, and as always, have your climbs to Binion. See you in the next one.